the woman which replaced the humans with dolls. Have you ever seen this woman? She is known as the goddess of dolls, but why is she called so? Let's find out. Deep in the mountains of Japan lies a tiny village, a village where time seems to have stopped. As you wander through its serene streets, you'll find an intriguing sight. Houses with mannequins dressed in traditional clothing standing in their windows as if welcoming you into their homes. Instead, she threw herself into her work, making more dolls than ever before. Instead, she used her fortune to help others, donating money to schools and hospitals and doing whatever she could to make a difference in the world. As time went on, Amigurumi's fame grew. People from all over the world came to see her and learn the secrets of her craft. But she was always humble and never forgot her roots. The museum was an instant hit, and soon tourists from all over the world were flocking to see the amazing dolls that she had created. They said that the lifelike figures were realistic and that the museum was a tourist trap. But Amigurumi didn't let the negativity get to her. She was interviewed on TV shows, and her dolls were featured in magazines. But despite all the attention, she remained the same kind, humble woman that everyone had come to love. The hyper-realistic nature of the dolls can be off-putting to some, while others find the idea of inanimate objects being displayed as if they were human beings strange and eerie. Also, check out these videos and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome videos. Some even believe that the dolls are cursed, bringing bad luck to anyone who comes into contact with them. These beliefs are likely fueled by the fact that the dolls are often displayed in dimly lit rooms with cobwebs and other creepy decorations, creating an atmosphere of mystery and fear. The combination of these factors has led to the nickname given to the Village of the Dolls, which has been compared to a real-life version of Coraline, a popular dark fantasy film about a young girl who discovers a secret door in her new home that leads to a seemingly better world. However, this new world turns out to be a trap set by a sinister force that seeks to keep her trapped forever. Then, one day in 2018, at the age of 81, Amigurumi passed away, but her legacy lives on. Her family continues to run the doll museum, and her dolls are still bringing joy to people all over the world. She knew that her dolls brought joy to millions of people, and that was all that mattered. She continued to make dolls and welcome visitors to her museum, always with a smile on her face and a warm welcome in her heart. Amigurumi was thrilled that her work was being appreciated, but she never forgot her roots. She remained humble and gracious, always thanking her customers and visitors for giving her the opportunity to share her passion with the world. She was a talented artist who was able to turn her passion into a successful business. But more importantly, she was a kind, generous, and loving person who used her success to help others. Amigurumi may be gone, but her story and her dolls will live on forever. She remained the kind, generous, and loving woman that everyone knew and loved, but these were no ordinary dolls. Each one was a masterpiece, a testament to the skill and dedication of the old woman who made them. She named her creations Kokoro, which means heart in Japanese, and each one was filled with love and care. Amigurumi used only the finest materials, including real human hair for the wigs and kimonos for the outfits. She would spend hours and hours on each doll, making sure that every detail was perfect, and her hard work paid off. The entire village is filled with these eerily lifelike figures, and it can be quite disorientating. At first glance, it almost appears as if the villagers have abandoned their homes and vanished into thin air. One day, a group of tourists visited Amigurumi and asked her to make a doll that resembled one of their friends. At first, she was hesitant. Making dolls that looked like specific people was a delicate task. But she agreed and soon had a doll that was the spitting image of their friend. The group was so impressed that they asked Amigurumi if she could make a doll for each of them, and that's when everything changed. You might even hear the wind rustling through the trees and imagine the sound of footsteps on the wooden pavement just around the corner. These dolls weren't just toys. They were works of art. Each one was a unique and beautiful representation of the person it was meant to resemble. Amigurumi put her heart and soul into each one, and the results were truly amazing. Her dolls were in such high demand that she had to hire other doll makers to help her keep up with the orders. Soon she had a team of over 20 women who were all experts at making lifelike dolls. Together they were able to make hundreds of dolls every year, each one more amazing than the last. But when you turn, there's no one there. The silence is deafening. What's really going on here? Why are these dolls taking over the village? And who is this mysterious woman who started it all? Let's find out more about her. This woman's name was Amigurumi Kamai. She was born in 1937 in a small village deep in the mountains of Japan. Her childhood was a typical one for the time period. She married a local woodworker, and together they had 2 children. Life was simple and peaceful until one day it wasn't. When Amigurumi's daughter got married, her parents-in-law gave her an unusual wedding gift, a life-sized doll that resembled their daughter-in-law. At first, Amigurumi didn't know what to make of it, but then she began to see the doll as a blessing, a way to preserve the memory of her daughter as she embarked on a new chapter in her life. It wasn't long before Amigurumi's friends and neighbors began to take notice of the doll, and they'd wanted one. Soon, Amigurumi found herself in high demand. With the support of her husband, she started making dolls for people all over Japan. Their simple village homes soon became famous, and people from all over the country would visit them to buy one of the unique dolls. They called her the Doll Mother. For many years, Amigurumi's life was filled with joy. She loved making dolls and bringing happiness to others. But then tragedy struck. In the early 2000s, both her husband and son passed away, leaving her alone in the world. This was a devastating blow, but she refused to let it defeat her. Soon she was making more money than she could ever have imagined. But she wasn't motivated by greed or selfishness. And then something truly remarkable happened. From that day on, Amigurumi's life was never the same, but making dolls was only half the story. Amigurumi also opened a museum where she displayed her most prized possessions. However, not everyone was happy with Amigurumi's success. Some people thought that her dolls were creepy and unsettling. Years went by and Amigurumi's fame continued to grow. Amigurumi's story is a truly remarkable one. It's a story of hard work, dedication, and the power of following your dreams. Now let's talk about the creepy side of things. While Amigurumi's dolls are indeed impressive feats of craftsmanship, some people find them unsettling. What do you think of this place? Would you ever go there? Share your thoughts below.